Hi, this is the video for the Talking Maths in Public animation generation collaboration for August, / September 2025. The prompt this month is to create an animation showing a Hilbert curve filling a square. Now, a Hilbert curve is a space-filling curve that's made up of lots of short lines. It has an iterative procedure to generate it, and I was recently at the Talking Maths in Public conference and I came into temporary possession of a big bag of matchsticks, and so I thought I would take the opportunity to try doing a stop motion animation. Now, I haven't really done stop motion animation before except with my children years and years ago. I didn't really want to install an app because when I did it before I spent lots of time trying lots of different apps. They all had good points and bad points, but I didn't have a lot of time to mess around trying out different things. So I thought I'd just take photos and use software that I already have at home to then put the photos together to make the animation. So you can see here, this is a video of me building the Hilbert curve out of matchsticks. I had a wonderful tip from my friend Ayliean to build the structure first and then take the photos while I was dismantling it. If you haven't seen any of Ayliean's work, she makes wonderful stop motion and time-lapse animations. I'll put a link to her channel in the description. You should definitely go and check it out. But this was a really good tip because that meant I could build the entire structure and know how big it was, how much space it needed to take up, and then it would be a lot easier. Once I'd built the curve and had it all laid out on the table, I enlisted the help of my friend Max, who helped me to take the photos. So the process that we had was that I would remove a matchstick, he would take a photo, give me a thumbs up, and then we'd move on to the next one. Now, there are things that I definitely could have done better here. So for a start, I only had a small tripod to put my phone on the table, and so I couldn't get it much higher than the table, so the angle for the shots is not the best. So that would definitely be a learning point for the future, to get a decent proper tripod and have the camera a lot higher up. Another learning point would be to have a grid to lay the matchsticks out on, even if preferably one that you couldn't see in the final version but could just about see, for me to lay them out, because it definitely went a bit wonky. There were some things that happened, like the camera fell off at one point, and there were some hands in the shot. I think there was some where two photos were taken of the same stage, but that's okay. I just put them all together to see how it happened, and it still works. Like, it's not perfect, but it still works as an animation. You can see the Hilbert curve being produced. So once we'd taken all the photos, this is what I ended up with: a load of photos of the different stages of the Hilbert curve being produced. You can see there's my hand in one of them there, but that's fine. We're not going to worry about that. And these, because they've been time stamped by the camera, they're all in the order in which they were taken, which is really helpful. So I've used GIMP to put all the photos together into an animation. GIMP, the GNU image manipulation program, is open source free software for messing around with photos and pictures and things like that. And it has a feature where you can import a whole load of pictures as layers, and then you can export them as a GIF, and it will display each photo in turn. So that's what I decided to do. So in GIMP I can select File, Open Image as Layers, and then navigate to the folder that contains all my photos, select all the photos and open them, and that will import each one as a different layer, which you can see is this window on the bottom right here that shows all the layers. Now, this took a long time. There were 262 photos, and at the natural resolution my camera took them they were quite big, so it took a little while to import them. So once they were finally all imported, the first thing I wanted to do was reduce the size of them just to make it manageable to work with. So to do that I went to image and scale image. So you can see here they're 4000 pixels wide, which is just stupid. So I'll change it to standard high definition 1920 by 1080. Probably could go smaller than that, to be honest, but I think that's manageable. And scale that, and then that scales all the layers down to that size. The other thing I needed to do was reverse the order of the layers, because it's imported them all in order. The one at the bottom is the one where the curve is fully built, and the one right at the top is this one here, which is after I'd taken away all the matchsticks. So I wanted them in the opposite order, and luckily GIMP has a option to do that. So layer, stack and reverse layer order, and it will swap them around so that then the built curve is at the top. And that's all I need to do. Then I can just export this as a GIF, and GIMP will handle everything for me. So that's file and export as. I select file type, choose GIF image, I'll give it a name. And then you get some options. So I want to export it as an animation. I don't want it to loop forever, I just want it to build once. Delay between frames, I think 100 milliseconds is fine, and I'll just leave all those as default and export, and then just wait for it to export. And this is my final exported animation. Like I said, there are definitely things I could have done better, but it does do the job. You can see the Hilbert curve growing, and if you want to have a go at stop motion animation, this is one way to try it out.